Yep. And if you see, if you have any question, please raise the hand because I cannot see now the screen because it is mostly a shared screen right now. So today I would be discussing more into a topic of a blueprint to breakthrough, which is the project life cycle. Majorly, why we would be discussing more into a project life cycle. I know there is a lot of topic that is going on AI. People are believing like artificial intelligence would come in picture and it would take off lots of job. I don't know, there would be a lot of job in the industries or not. People are worried about it. I would also discuss that. A specific slide is there for it, wherein I would be discussing why artificial intelligence are important, what AI would be doing, and how you would be beneficial with AI rather than taking off your job. So I have a pretty much simple agenda. It's a very short slide that I would be presenting. I like to talk more rather than showing something into a presentation slide and taking it up. It would be more an interaction session. I don't know, who all would be joining the call. Whoever is joining the call, if you have any question at any time, please raise the hand or interrupt me in the between. It would be very much welcome. If not, there is a specific session for question and answer. You can ask me question at that time also. Okay. So let's start with an introduction. So who am I? So basically, my name is Sanju Radhakrishna Menon. I have overall of 12 years of experience in the field of project management, product management. I am a certified PMP certified project manager, a product manager, a product management certified, a CSM trainer, and an ITL certified trainer. So basically, my current role is that I am working as an IT project manager, a team lead, wherein I am leading over 20 of project manager along with different people from different region, not only from India. There are project managers from Malaysia, Europe, US. So I am working globally around the time, and I'm in the core of the IT industries, information technology. So all my 12 years of experience is in the field of IT industries. So before going ahead, I would like to let you know one thing. So today we would be only discussing the project life cycle. Basically, project is a smaller part of a big term which is called as product. So for an example, you have a product like a day-to-day life product, like all our college students, and I know you all might be using different types of social media handles right now, like Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, all this, right? So the core product of this is like Meta. The Meta is a product, and different types of project, like the branch of it, it is Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, whatever it is. And in that, there would be a certain project assigned to, for an example, for an Instagram, there would be a project like it would be coming as you need to have a feature wherein people can come up, upload their photos, and that would be going around the platform and different people can like it, comment it, and all that. That is a small project. So which would have a timelines, basically a start date and end date. So today we would be discussing core about the project life cycle, how a project life cycle work, and I would be also giving you a industrial live example what I have done in my project. That would be my example that I would be providing to you. And to very specific, if you ask me how the product life cycle works, basically here the tagline of your seminar is idea to deployment. So deployment is more into the project side, wherein more core execution stuff is done, and idea is something which is more core into the product. So basically, okay, no problem. Yeah. So we have 18 of them, right? So I know everyone who is listening this call, they might have one or the other ideas in their mind, and they might feel tomorrow we would be doing something for the society and something needs to be done, right? For an example, take do you know how Zomato came in picture? Anyone? Like, I don't know if it can be interactive, but I'll explain you. So what happened was Deepinder Goyal, once he was sitting in his home, like when he was in Bangalore, and when he was going to his job role. That time he was hungry, and he was not able to cook because he was so tired with his work. He was so hectic. That was a hectic day for him. He could not cook. So he searched, like, is there any application or is there anything that I can go ahead and search and order for food and something? There was nothing. That's when an idea came to his in his mind, and that's how Zomato came up, basically. Okay, so there might be similar ideas in your. So it is, see, ideas not need to be an unique idea, but idea can be any idea. Like you can do the same idea what Zomato is doing, but you need to have an like it should be very much like an emotional way, or it should be like an empathetic way. The people should connect with your idea, and that's how people come to your idea and give that response to your idea. So don't, so tomorrow if you say I want to also make a food chain just like Zomato, but Zomato is already doing, what you will do apart from Zomato, or what you will give that empathetic to that idea. That is very much important whenever you have an idea generation. So why I was discussing this, because I need to discuss this in a way, because we are going into project, and project is very deep into execution, not an thing wherein you can think like you can do all the research and all that, because everything is done, the research and everything is done, and then you get a project, and then you work on that project. You all, as a college student, when you get out of your college and when you join an organization, you will be all assigned to a project rather than a product. But what happens getting from the project, what all things comes in front, and then you get a project, that is different thing. That is what I am discussing over here. So basically what happens, a product wherein product has a vision, it has a mission, it has a value. This is all very much important for a product to develop. And then there is a core product team who does lot of research into this. They do a primary research, they do the secondary research, they do market research, they do competitive research, and then they define the exact problem. Like, is this idea correct to the problem or not? Then once they define the problem, they have a goal, they have a solution for it. They know who is the impact user, who are the targeted users. So everything is mentioned in the product. Okay, and then you would be assigned for a project, XY project. This is a solution that you need to develop. So there comes the project life cycle, wherein I was mentioning what exactly is a project. So project is a temporary endeavors which have a start date and end date, which have a unique output, which is goal oriented, which is progressive elaboration, constraint. And example as I given to you, like constructing a building, launching an app, organizing an event, AI system development, deployment, anything can be a project. So tomorrow, like 5 of your group friends, you decide to go to a trip to Lonavala because it is raining and you can enjoy the weather over there. So that is also a project. What you do proper project life cycle. How you do that also I can explain you right now. So what happens is, like, first you do the initialization, wherein you what you do, you think a place where we need to go to Lonavala. Okay, what you do second, you would create a WhatsApp group, you will add the people into that WhatsApp group. Okay, this is the initialization. You do then the planning. Now you do the budgeting, like how much, what is the budget for it, what should be the budget. If we are going in a car, what would the petrol cost, how much kilometer it is. So that budget you do as a project. Then you do the scope. What is the scope? Scope is basically, we will leave early morning 8 p.m. and we should come back by 5 p.m. That is your scope. Okay, then schedule is already tomorrow. Then you would also describe the risk. What if the car tire get punctured? What we will do at that time. So these all things you plan and you execute that. That is basically a project. So you all do project in your day-to-day life, but when it comes to industrial standard, it is more in a structured way, it is more in a documented way, it is more like a framework wherein you would get to know when is the start date and when is the end date. So this is basically the project and the project life cycle. So everyone, like whoever is listening this call, whoever is there, they all might have done a project in their life, not to be a specific to an industrial standard, but in your own life you might have done a project. So when I was when I was learning into the project, one of my mentor told me even making a tea at your home is a project. Why? Because you need to do all the stuff what you're doing in your project. I will show you in the next slide what all is there. So you would get to know how exactly that, like you can replicate it into your day-to-day life, and you can think how it can be done. So basically, this is the project life cycle. I would give you a live example also after this slide. The live example would start. So as I mentioned, it is from initialization to closure. So everything you see in the project life cycle, there would be a stage of initiation, then planning, then execution, monitoring and control, and closure. So this is very basic what I am talking about. But when you come into industrial standard, it is more depth into this. Like there are more depth. We cannot complete that entire thing in a 1 hour of session. It needs time, because the phase one itself, it's a very long duration whenever we do a project, because this is the this is a part wherein we decide everything, like what would be the project objectives and feasibilities, how we would be developing the business case. So project charter itself, it's a document wherein everything would be mentioned, like what is the project, what would be the budget, what would be the scope, what would be the schedule, what would be the risk, who would be the stakeholders, whom we should inform it, how the communication plan would be there. So there is a very big thing that happens in initiation. So I would it would take a complete day to explain you like what is initiation, but at a high level, initiation is basically wherein we define everything about the project. For an example, as I mentioned, I'll give you the live example also. But as I took this example of going to Lonavala, so basically in the part wherein you would mention everything, when we are going, what mode of transportation we are going, where we will take the halt, what we will have, what we will do, who all will be there. That is all related to a terms of the project management. So this is basically the initiation. Now planning. Basically planning, what happens is like you have these documents, you have identified everything during the initiation. Now you would go to the planning, wherein you would be creating a proper project management plan. Okay, you would be defining the scope, schedule, budget, quality, risk, resource. There are procurement, different types of procurements are there. There are risk cycles, wherein what would be the risk, how we would be mitigating the risk, are you taking that risk, or are you having a different plan, something comes up to a risk. So basically what is risk? There is a huge difference between a risk and issue. Okay, issue is something which has already occurred, and risk is something which you can predict. Like for an example, as I mentioned, while going to Lonavala, you know the tire would get punctured. What you will do, you would have an extra stepney, or you would locate somewhere places wherein you can get quick access to the repair guy, or you would take that number, and then you would like mitigate that risk. So that is risk. Issue is something you never predicted, that the car would be off, the engine would be shut down. You never predicted that. That is an issue which is occurred. Now what to do? So that is something which you don't do. That is an issue, and which you already do. That is a risk. So in planning, you do everything. You mention everything, each and everything. You have a communication channel. You have a stakeholder engagement, wherein you would get to know who all are the stakeholders, like who is our client, who is our team member. So stakeholders does not only mean the clients, end user client. It is also the team member who are working with you, also a person who would be helping you in the project. Anyone who is related to the project is a stakeholders in this project. Okay, next part is execution, wherein you would work as per the plans. Whatever you had made in this planning, you would be working that in this execution part. Like you would be developing everything, whatever you want to develop. You would be always mentioning like doing all this in the execution part. That's what mentioned over here. carry out the project work as per the plan, manage the team, quality, stakeholders expectation, and ensure a deliver proceed. So whatever is there in this planning, mentioned in the project management plan and mentioned in the project charter, you would be executing it in the execution phase. This would be only the execution phase. Nothing you would be doing here. You would be only doing the execution. Everything planning, every initiation, everything has been done here. Only the execution part would be done on this stage. Next is monitoring and control. What happens in monitoring and control is basically you would be doing, like you would be tracking where exactly is your project in the scheduled, are we running in the correct time, are we running in the correct budget, do we have any kind of risk, if risks are there, where we would be mitigating risk, are we following the risk mitigation plans or not. Then we will also measure the performance, like different types of performance are there. So KPIs is key performance indicator, and there are different types of metrics that would be there. You would be seeing it. And what happens is, like in this, you would be also doing different types of testings. So you might have heard testings, system integration testings, user acceptance testings. Everything would be done in this monitoring and control. Why? Because you have to check and control, like what are we doing? Are we doing it in the plan? Whatever is mentioned in the project management plan, are we in the scope? Are we in the schedule? Are we in the budget? Are we in the quality or risk and resource? Everything should be monitored and controlled in this stage. So basically a lot of thing happens over here, and a lot of things also get changed over here. What happens is, like something happens, like for an example, software development, and you are doing an example of on Facebook. You want a login screen wherein you want a submit button on the right side, but as per the developer, when he was developing, he put the submit button on the left side. He did not put it on the right side. So you see that it is an error. It is not mentioned in the planning. In planning, it is mentioned on the right side, but the developer has done in the left side. So what you will do, you would create a bug for it, and then you would give back to the software team. It goes back to the execution, and they see the project management plan. And in the project management plan, it is mentioned as it should be on the right side, but he have developed it into the left side. So then he would be going back and doing it into the right side and getting back to this stage and informing the team that I have changed it. Please go ahead and do it. So this is what happens in the monitoring and control part. Okay. Then the final part is closure, wherein what happens in the closure is, like everything has been done. We have an acceptance and delivery, wherein in the project management plan itself, it would be mentioned to close this project. There is an certain criteria which should be accepted, and the delivery and all the deliverables should be accepted. That is what mentioned in the project management plan. And we check if all this is been done, then we close it. Then what we do, we release the project. We release the project into day-to-day operations. So if I want to give you an example, for an example, there is a live example. So take an example of tomorrow you are doing something in like building the house. Take a very good example, building and constructing an house. You construct the house, and what happens, people stay in that house. That is a day-to-day operation. So once the people stay in that house, they get to know each thing, like is this room perfect, is this wall perfect, is the water connection perfect, is the drainage system perfect. So that is something, release the project to the operations. Then what we do, we also make a document lesson learned. Why we do a document lesson learned? It is very much important. What happens in an organization, one project comes multiple times. Like it is not, so suppose I am deploying an feature which is a project. Suppose an XYZ company likes it, and they feel this solution is better than what they are providing. So what they come to us and approach us and tell us, the solution which you provided to ABC company is very good. We also want that same solution. So what we do, yes, we will give you. And what we will do is, like we will share with them the document lesson learned. Okay, wherein we would let them know what we have done, what we have not done. So they would also learn that if they want any kind of changes from the current solution, they would let us know. If not, then we would be doing the same thing. And next is, like they celebrate the success. So majorly what happens, everyone in an organization, they do all the project, but they do not, they forget this thing. This is very much important. Celebrate the success. Why? Because you get an assurance that you have completed a project and you have done a project in a successful way, and you can deliver anything in the project. So this is very much important. So everyone should celebrate their success. Even if it is a failure, celebrate it, get to know what is the wrong thing that you have done and rectify it into the next project. So that is what we learn, and we do it in our day-to-day life in an industrial way. So this is an overall high-level structure of project life cycle, and this can be in different way. Like there are different types of methodologies in this also. There are waterfall methodology, there are agile methodology. I don't know if you all have heard about it. So waterfall is a standard way. Waterfall, how water falls, in the same way that methodology also falls. So for an example, initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and closure, this follows in the same path. Nothing can go back forth here and there. There is one more methodology which is agile. Agile means it does not follow the same path. It can go anywhere. It can go from initiation, it can go to execution. From execution, it can go to closure. No need of monitoring. So something like that. So it is agility. So it is always both. Right now, all the industrial are following the agile methodology because it is more a customer authentic, and it is more into like and welfare of customer, wherein it is very much helpful for the customer because they can see what is the project, what happens in the waterfall. In the waterfall, you can see the end result at the end of the project, that is at the closure of the project. But in an agile methodology, you can see the project where it is going at any stage of this project. So that is the difference between an agile and waterfall. Then this is an overall project life cycle. If you have any question, please let me know. If not, I would be going ahead with the life cycle, like the real case example which we had done for one of our customer, which was an AI support chatbot for one of our client. So you all know what is AI customer chatbot, right? If not, I'll let you know. So so I would not name the client, or I would not go into detail like what we have done, which software we use, or which chatbot which use, or which AI softwares, and how the framework and all that. It is more like a project life cycle, so I need to mention that, and I cannot disclose the customers because it's like it is like against the policy and all that. So I'll just let you know it was a banking sector domain. Wherein still you all also have been faced it like many times. Whenever you call the customer care, it goes to an IVR, then you need to click on different types of key, 1 2 9, then 9, then the customer care support gets into the call. That is also an IVR. IVR can also be done into an AI thing. But what happened is like there was a problem, like customers, like they had to wait too long for human support, because this was a big bank from Europe country, and they wanted the live support rather than someone sitting at behind taking all this IVR call, pressing one and then going. It takes a long queue wait time for them. So they wanted something very much short, and they wanted to get into the customer support very real, like in a speed time. So what we discussed, we would create an AI chatbot for them. So this is a project right now. So creating an AI chatbot for a product of an bank in Europe. Okay, so this was a project for us. So the objective was very much clear for us to build an AI chatbot and answer common question instantly. So the human support would come very instantly there. As soon as the user comes up and let them know like something is gone wrong from the chatbot, and customer support comes up and answer it immediately, so the issue gets resolved. Hello, yeah.
Sorry for the interruption. You can continue.
Yeah. No problem. Okay, fine. Okay. So this was a problem, and objective was also very much clear. So why this business case was basically, first of all, as you know, it's a very like very competitive field and very secured field of banking sector. What happens if something, for an example, you or me also, tomorrow we are using something from HDFC and HDFC Bank does not give us nice support, what we will do, we will immediately close that account and go back to some ICICI Bank or Axis Bank or something like that, right? We'll definitely go there. So it was very much competitive field. So we have to improve that customer satisfaction, and also this would reduce the cost. Why it would reduce the cost? If you don't know, whenever the IVR hits, so for you all, it is like incoming call might be not chargeable. For a company or a bank, whenever an IVR call comes up, they have to, because it's a toll-free number, right? So there is some charges that they have to take it from the service provider. Till the waiting time is there, they have to pay that. I don't know if like you all are college student, if you all have worked in real call center world, because at my initial stage I have definitely worked in, wherein the team lead on the floor always tell, keep the clock, keep the call fast, keep the call, end the call at very soon. There is an average talking time, you need to not go ahead of that, there would be some penalties that would be there. So that's why this reduced cost was also mentioned in that initialization stage. Then what were the key action that we need to take? We need to take the management approvals and also assign a project manager, which was I, as in project manager, was assigned over there with some all the like this roles and responsibility that was given to me. Then what would be the output of this initiation? It is a document which I told, project charter, which is very much important. Why? In that everything would be mentioned. We would, what we are doing, basically what we are doing, we are deploying in a chatbot. What we will be doing? We will define the scope, schedule, budget, risk, quality, whatever I mentioned above. Everything would be mentioned over there. But what would be detailedly mentioned? It would be mentioned in the planning stage, wherein we would be defining the project management plan, wherein different things would be there, like scope, what would be the scope, timelines, what would be the timelines, budget, what is the budget of that project. You cannot exceed that budget. If you want to exit that budget, then you have to again take the approval from management, and then you need to do. If you can limit that budget, then you're a good project manager, or you're a good project guy. You can do it any project in a budget. Then team, which all team is required. So indirectly this 20 lakh, this budget depends upon this team. Then risk, what are that risk? Then there are different stuff I did not mention here. There are procurement that would be there. Different stuffs are there in the planning. So this is just an overview that I am giving you right now. So in this project, what we have defined, we have defined the scope. We defined that what chatbot we will do and won't do. Example, FAQ, connect live, agent if needed. What all things we can do here, we would be mentioning in the scope. Okay. Then the timelines, we mentioned the timelines, the 3 months to complete this project. Then the budget, we mentioned the budget. What are the budgets like? So this is a rough budget. In this budget, nothing can be done, to be very frank with you. This is just a small, like I just wanted to mention. So like budget, then who all are required in the team? We need a data scientist because it's an AI chatbot. We need a developer who can develop this. We need a tester who can test it and let us know. And then a customer service reps, because we also need to test this as an end user, right? So that is also required. Then risk, what all would be the risk? So I just mentioned a high level risk, like the AI might not understand the local language, because some of the people from Europe, if suppose it is from the Germany country, they would speak as German. They won't get it. It would be always in English. Then some customers might get frustrated with chatbot also, how to mitigate that risk. So different types of risk is there. So what would be the output? As I mentioned, a full project plan would be output with the schedule, budget, risk, and responsibility. So basically, there is an RACI chart, which is basically known as responsible, accountable, consultant, and informed. This is a chart that gets prepared in the project management plan, wherein something goes wrong. Who is responsible? Who should be consulted? Who should be accountable? Or who should be informed? All this information would be there. For an example, something breaks off tomorrow. Who should be responsible for this? This should be responsible by the developer team, because they have developer. Who should be accountable for this? The project manager should be accountable because he is the one who is accountable for the entire chatbot. Who should be consulted? The data scientist should be consulted because he knows the framework, how is the data, how the framework has been created for all this AI chatbot. Who should be informed? The stakeholders should be informed. The entire stakeholders should be informed. Right from the client to the entire team should be informed. Like what went wrong or what is correct and all that. So this is an output wherein the entire project management plan has been created in the planning phase. Now comes the execution phase, the building stage, wherein I told you like only building would be done and only testing would be also done in testing happens in execution and also happens in the monitoring and control. Okay, like the adjustment, monitoring and control also happens over here. Two types of testing I'll tell you over there. So basically in execution, what we did is like we gathered all the data because as you know, AI is like it completely belongs to data and data is very much important. So we had a data collection, then we had a model training wherein AI trained understand, they answer the questions. Development, we built a chatbot software and integrated it with the company website. So I don't want to mention which software and all that because it's an high level thing which cannot be disclosed in the call. Then the testing, so we had a stimulate wherein I don't know, a lot of you have been used wherein stimulators. It is same like what the real product is, but we stimulate it with the real customer queries and see. And what is the output of it? We get a working prototype of it. Simple as a working prototype of it. So everything what we have in the project management plan, we build it over here and we get a prototype of it. This happens in the execution phase. What happens in the monitoring controlling phase? We perform the tracking, measure the accuracy, how often chatbot gives the right answer. So basically this is monitoring right now. So what we are doing, we are checking if we are giving an response hello, is the chatbot giving the response back at hi? Or if you press hello chat, does it give the right response or not? That we are checking. We are checking the feedback. We are taking the feedback from the different people. Like, do you think it is correct? Do you want to test it with a group of people? So that is what a feedback is been taken. This is the adjustment which I told you. Suppose something bugs comes up or something goes wrong here and there. What happens is like it goes back to the execution phase. The development team develops again. It comes back again to the monitoring and controlling phase. And then we fix all the errors. And that's how things happens in the monitoring and control phase. Then the budget timeline control. So we need to check if it is done in a budget, like whatever is given the budget, are we doing it in the budget? Are we doing it the measured scheduled timeline? So basically, if you see here, it is mentioned 20 lakhs. Are we completing this project in 20 lakhs? Are we completing this project in 3 months of time? These all things is been done in the monitoring and control. And what happens over here? We have an improved chatbot ready for launch. Basically, this is our end product, which would be going live with an end customer. So that is the output of a monitoring and controlling part, the check state. Then comes the closure, the final stage, wherein deployment happens. Like the chatbot goes live for the company website. So once the chatbot is live, the development team have and time frame of 2 weeks. Normally it is different by different organization. So some organization take it 2 weeks, some organization take it 4 weeks, which is called as a maintenance phase. So whatever issue comes during this, the development team would be helping out to the end users. In the meantime, during these 2 weeks and 4 weeks, the development team would be giving an handover to an operational team, wherein they would be the customer support to how to use this chatbot, what would be the issue that would be coming up, if anything goes wrong, how you can tackle this issue. There is an operation dedicated team which would be working once the project goes live. So the handover is also given during this 2 to 4 weeks. Okay. Then reviews, wherein we check the goals are met or not as per the project management plan, because the major goal here was to reduce the cost, improve the customer satisfaction. Same thing, is the reduced wait time is correct, is the customer is happy? We would be taking continuous feedback from the live users, end users. So that's how the closure happens. Then as I mentioned earlier, a lesson learned, a document wherein we would be mentioned what all we have learned. And as I mentioned you, if this is a good solution, if some other companies like it, they come and approach to us, we have a lesson learned library wherein we let them know that this is there, you can check this solution. If you like this solution, you can take that solution and improve it for the next time. And finally, a lot of people ignore it, but definitely you should always celebrate the team recognition, success, everything, success, failure, everything should be celebrated. Success should be celebrated, but it should be not in that way that you know everything, because learning curve is always there. Failure should be not be celebrated so that you always do the failure. Failure should be celebrated and take all the negative points from the failures and try to improve it into the next project. That is what the entire thing of a project life cycle happens. And this was a live example that we have done for one of our client. So coming back to the project life cycle, so this is more what we can look into the project life cycle, wherein the initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closure. This is a perfect project life cycle that happens in every organization. You might have heard, right? uh, Tomorrow, I don't know, there might be different people from your family, like your mom, your dad, whoever working in any industries. They have a project. What is that project? So they follow all this life cycle and they implement this life cycle and they complete the project with this life cycle itself. It can be different way. See, it is not a thumb rule that it would be the same way. And it would be in the same, it would be in a different way also. The project management, project life cycle can be in a different way also, but everyone followed this life cycle to very specifically. It can be written in any other way also, but all the meaning would be going in the same way. So I see a question in the YouTube. I am also watching the YouTube. So there is a question from Parth Chaudhary asking, can you explain what are the stimulators basically? So basically the stimulators are like similar to the end product. For an example, Parth, I don't know if you had played a game of aircraft wherein they create an own stimulator at their home and you feel like you are flying the aircraft by yourself. That is basically a stimulator. Same goes with I don't know if you have used a tool called Figma. In that Figma itself, there is a prototype wherein you can create the entire screen of your mobile and you can create a chatbot. You can do everything. It would be the same like the end product, but it would be not the end product. It would be just for your testing purpose, if you are doing it correctly or not. That is basically a stimulator. Anything which replicates same as the product end product, but not an end product. It is for your testing purpose, and you can play anything over it. Like you can do anything. You can make, you can crash it, you can debug it, you can do anything in that stimulator, not in the end product. Even if you want to do any kind of changes in the end product, you would always do the changes first in the stimulator, check if everything is working fine, then only you would deploy that feature into the end product. That is basically a stimulator is. Hope so I answered your question. So this was the end of the project life cycle. So what is the end result that of this? So basically, end project. So basically, for the end product idea of a project. I did not got this question, Prathamesh Chauwal, what you're asking. So basically, for the end product idea of the project. So I think you might have joined late. I just told that product is a very big umbrella to very specific. Product is an evolving thing. Product can't be project. Project is always, as I mentioned, project is always a temporary endeavor which has a start date and which has an end date. So for an example, now you are watching YouTube, right? YouTube is a product. And tomorrow, a project on YouTube would be, you should, so I'm giving an example. You are like shorts, YouTube shorts, that would be a project. Again, it would be a product in another different entity. But for YouTube, YouTube Shorts is a project. So what I would tell you, I want a platform wherein you need to create a clip which would be only going for 60 seconds, not as a normal video. It would be a shorter version of the longer video, whatever it is. I just want it for 60 seconds. Do it as a project. So YouTube Shorts would be a project. Then what we would be doing, we would be doing all this. We would be doing the initiation, we would be doing the planning, execution, monitoring, control, and everything, discussing all through it. That's how we do the project. So always make sure project is more into execution and product is more like an evolving thing. Product can never get end, project has an end date. So that is the difference between a project and a product and a project. Got it? So next, wherein what is the end result? So the customer gets instant answer 24/7. This is an end result for the project which I was discussing this. Then support team workload reduced by 40%, as I mentioned, because no one there in the call, all might be there in the support chat, and it gets a very much clear and fast response to everyone. And some company saves the cost and builds the trust for the customers. This is basically the end result. So best practice for a project success. Okay. And I would give you a very harsh reality. Being in this field since 12 years, it is very much easy to read this statement, best practice for project success. It's very difficult to get a project in success. Being very frank with you, very clear to you, project success is something very critical, and each one who is working in a project might have faced a failure in their project, and from that failure only they might have learned something, and then there's goes to a project. It would be any, like I have documented it because it's a session which I need to give. I have clearly written, define the problem clearly, get management approval, and involve the stakeholders early. The main part is define the problem clearly. This never comes, in the project. What happens is, like, you might be in this part of the execution and you realize, oh, we were not doing this problem, we were doing some other problem, what to do now? Here you might be deciding it. Then what happens? The entire project life cycle is failed because your problem itself is not been defined. So that is what it is mentioning. Define the problem very clearly, which is very hard topic. I don't know if you believe it or not, we were into a project which we were doing. We thought we have identified the problem, okay, and we started working on it. We were in the monitoring and control. We have already deployed a prototype. We were into monitoring and control, wherein our project was to go live by the next, like in 2 weeks. And then we realized this is not the correct problem that we are solving. We are solving something else. We found that we have done something miss. Miss happens everywhere. Now what to do? So as a project management, it is my responsibility, because I cannot blame someone else, like my team or someone else, stating that you have done wrong or you have done wrong. It's my responsibility as a project management to take that accountability. And as I mentioned, there is a racy chat, right? I need to inform it to the stakeholders. I need to let them know, because they might be doing a grand grand opening or grand launch on the 2 weeks. I need to inform them 2 weeks before itself. There is a really big problem. What had happened, what we thought the problem was not clear. So for that also, we need to have a proper document, why it went wrong, why it is a problem, why we should do it in this way. So whenever you showcase anything to the client, make sure, not even the client, I think whenever you are doing any project in your college, like college stuff, or in your any of these educations, what you need to do, one thing is, like, whenever you face anything problem, or you feel like it is not going wrong, or it is going into the wrong path, don't just submit it. What you do, you talk to your the HODs, or you talk to your teachers, whoever is responsible for them. Create a plan, create a different plan, state them that, see, I think this was the problem that I was working for, but during I was working on this problem, I thought this would go in this way, but this did not go in this way because I found a defect, like the problem exists is something different. So I have an alternative plan for this. I can and also mention I can submit it. You won't understand it, but once you start working on it, you would get different types of issues. To prevent that issue, we need to make this change. I need an extra 1 week or 2 week to complete this project. Definitely the stakeholders, whoever it is, like why I'm mentioning the stakeholders, because we are talking about project, whoever it is, they would understand it. Because what happens, something going live and getting the issues is very hectic, rather than before going live you identify that issue. So this is very much important. So for the best practice, it is always mentioned, define the problem clearly, get the management approval involved. Then planning, always set a SMART. Basically what SMART means: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound, goals, realistic budget, timelines, plan for risk, and define success metrics. Let me give you an example. So this is something which I wrote only for this session, but this is not true. This is not a realistic budget. In this budget, nothing can be done. In these timelines, nothing can be done. So that's what it is mentioned. Always have a realistic budget and realistic time, because to get that project, you would always tell her, give me, I'll do it. But it does not happen in that way. It always should be a correct, realistic budget and realistic timelines. Okay. And also define the success matrix, whatever is the success matrix. Like for an example, this is the success matrix. You would get an instant of 24/7. You would get reduced by 40%. Company would save the cost and all. This is all the success matrix which you need to show in the planning state, and at the end result also you need to show it. Execution, as I mentioned, agile, work in small iteration. Why work in small iteration? Don't take bulk things. Bulk thing always make mess. What happens in small thing? For an example, in this chatbot itself, what you can do, you can only take one iterations, as like once you send something to the chatbot, you would get a response. That would be one iteration. That's it. Second iteration would be you can attach and screenshot. That is second iteration. Third iteration would be you can attach a video. That is the third iteration. So always make sure you work in agile. So that's why all the industry right now, be it an IT industry, be it an construction industry, be it an healthcare industry, be it an anything, they always work in an agile. If I want, I can give an example. So what happens is like in construction, suppose you are building a house, you directly don't build everything and then you give it, right? You have a plan. You would execute the hall, then you would check if the measurement is correct, check it with the guy, the interior guys, whoever it is, you would check with them. If it is correct, then you would go to the second iteration. Same in the healthcare domain. What happens if you are getting an ill? The doctor directly don't tell you get admitted. First, what he will do, he will give you a course of medicine. He would give you 3 days of antibiotics, 3 days of paracetamol, whatever it is for a flu. And then he would check if it is querying or not. If it is not querying, then he would go to the next iteration. This is how small iterations you have to work in every industry, so that you get a proper successful project in your life cycle. Okay. Ensure good data quality, keep communication open. That's what I mentioned. Everything is communication. Never keep anyone in the black. Like, don't tell wrong information. Even if you are going wrong, be very open and tell we are going wrong, because you don't believe banking, because I have been working in banking sector and healthcare sector. We can't miss anything even for a minute. Because if in a banking, even a minute goes wrong, hefty transaction goes here and there. In an healthcare domain, if anything goes wrong, the medicine goes wrong, the life of a person goes wrong. So we need to be very careful. So the communication should be very much open. This is going to be wrong. This is going to trash the system. This everything you need to be very much clear in the communication. That's what in execution it works. Yeah, Prathamesh, I'll take a question. Just let me complete it. Then monitoring and control. Basically, wherein in this you track the progress with KPI, avoid scope creeps, and fix the issues. What is scope creep? If I don't know, I can't see the chat. So scope creep is something, both thing. Like suppose you feel in the scope it is mentioned, make an AI chatbot only with message, not with picture. But you think, no, we are very good. We are very good organization. What we will do is like we will also give them to attach the screenshot or attach the video. Let's provide them that. That is a scope creep because client never offer, like client never ask for it. Why to give something which is not asked? It is good to have in your backlog, like in your simulator. Suppose tomorrow something they ask, you can directly deploy it because you have already tested it. But never give something which is not asked by the client, or over give something, or under give something. Always stick to the scope and always give to the scope itself. Okay. Then closure is like you get a final approval, train the user, document, learn, and celebrate. This is what the closure is. So this is a best practice for the project success. This is an overall project life cycle. Being it in any project, be it an AI project, be it an normal project, a software development project, or as I mentioned, a manufacturing project, a healthcare project, or any construction project. This thing happens in everything, and everywhere a project manager is involved, a product manager is also involved. So this is an high level of the project lifecycle, of the project lifecycle work. Coming back to your question on Prathamesh, is there any way to understand, to get to know whether we have our problem statement tracked early on? A very good question. But to very specifically, the problem in project, no need to worry because it is all run from the product side, because they identify the problem and they give you the solution of the project, like solution of the product, like you have to complete that project, simple as that. But when it comes to product, it is very much difficult to understand the project. There are different types of methodology that you can like there are different types of analysis that you can do, how you can identify a problem. There are different types. For an example, let's take I'll give you a quick example. I think only 14 to 16 minutes is left for the session. For an example, why Uber came into picture. Okay, Uber came into picture. What is the main goal of Uber? To send an user from destination A to destination B. Why it came? This is the question. Why the problem is occurred? Might be someone who does not have his own vehicle to go to that location. Okay, that is why the problem occurs. So next, so in this also you can ask different question. What if he buys a new vehicle? Will he use Uber or not? Then the next question comes, why if he buys a new vehicle, what is another problem there? It might be that the traffic, there might be huge traffic. If he take his own vehicle, he have to be in that own vehicle, get bored and all. Uber, there is a driver who drops him to that location. Okay. So then next question would be, what if he hires a driver? The person himself hired, then why the Uber is required? The driver is there. Then the next would be like the cost of the expense cost. You have to pay for the driver, you have to pay for the petrol, you have to pay for the different things. So again, Uber is feasible for them. So there are different types of questioning that you need to ask when you are defining a problem. To provide, yeah, that's what. So even you mentioned to provide the transportation citizen easily. Why only Uber can provide? Different mode of transportation can also provide. So you need to get into the depth of the problem to understand what exactly is the problem. So this is how things happens there. Okay, I hope I answered your question. So there are different methodologies that you can use and you can identify the problem, but identifying the problem is very much important, which is done in the product life cycle. Okay. Going the major topic over here, I would not go depth into AI because I don't want to go into depth into AI because that is a very big and vast topic and we don't have that time. So as I mentioned, AI, artificial intelligence, as you know, the word itself, it's an artificial and also intelligence wherein something information is taken and given to you. It's up to you if you want to take that information or not. If it is if you want, you can take it. If you don't want, you not to take it. Okay. So I would just give you some AI principles and clear the misconception, like what people are thinking over here. Like, so first is like AI, it respect. The principle of AI is respect human rights, ensures equality and inclusion, safety and security, reliability, protect personal privacy, enables human oversights, and make AI enable example transparent. So this is the basically six principle that AI has. It always have a human rights, respects the human rights. It never tells it. If you also prompt today to chat GPT, it does not give you an order that this is correct. What it tells, this is his opinion. If you want, I can do something more better for you. You prompt me, I'll give you. That's what it always respects the human right. It does not give you a final solution. It always tell you, should we do it or not? That is what you might be seeing in every chat GPT prompt. If you are prompting it, you would see it gives you a question, I can do better than this, or you have anything else from your side, give that. Okay, so it respects that. And basically rest all is self-explanatory. I don't have pretty much time, 10 minutes is there. I have a Q&A session also that I have to do. Next is misconception, which is very much important. I know you are into entering into your like you might be in your first year, second year, third year, whatever year, fourth year, and then you would be going into industrial. So you might think AI is smarter than human. No, AI is not smarter than human. AI is a task specific and not a general intelligence. You are the one who is prompting to AI. You are the one who is creating the frameworks. If you work deeply into AI, if you know the backend, how AI is work, how the framework is work, setup, it is all done by the humans. It is not done by some machines or something. Yes, you need to provide that data. Yes, our head, our brain might be not storing that data. It is something AI which gives you the data. It is you take that information, and if you it's you who want to imply like implement it or not. It's all up to you. Next is AI will take over the world. No, AI will never take over the world. AI is a tool, and it is controlled with the human governments. That's what I told. I'll take your question. AI, artificial intelligence. I like that name, artificial intelligence. AI will leave people jobless. No, AI will not leave people jobless. In fact, AI will create more roles and more productivity of a person. If you know AI, it's very good. What you should do, you should upskill yourself rather than thinking AI would take my job. You can upskill. Human brain is very much better than any AI or anything, any machine. Human brain have that capacity. You should, I'm talking to you face to face, you should upskill yourself and you should be in that position of an AI. You should be the next AI rather than the AI. So artificial intelligence has asked the question, what's your view on comment on the CEO of NVIDIA? AI won't take your job. One moment. Won't take your job, but the guys using AI will. Yeah, that's what I mentioned, right? The guys AI will be. So what I told you, upskill yourself. That's the major thing. AI won't take your job. AI would definitely give you more roles and responsibility and productivity. So you can do n number of things with AI, but you need to get upskill yourself and be into the field of AI. And don't just go into the field of AI. AI still lacks in very much. For an example, empathy. Empathy is a very important thing when you go into an higher management stuff. Like right now, I'm into an higher management stuff, which AI can do empathy. For tomorrow, someone of you come and tell me that I am not able to do this job. I have an issue with in my family. You prompt this to AI? No, you would never prompt this to AI. A person from the management itself take that decision and see, like, is it really that if that person is empathetic or not, and then only he would take that decision. So that is very much correct. AI won't take your job role, but the people who is using would take. But you are also a human, right? You can always upskill yourself. So that's what my benefit last is, that following this principle and addressing the misconception, we can build a trustworthy, ethical, and human-centered AI system. That's what I wanted to tell. Okay, so let's give you 2 minutes. If you all are using the mobile, you can scan this code quickly. Okay, you can scan this code quickly. I also need to or I will paste it into, I don't know in YouTube how I need to paste it. If madam, if you can just paste this in YouTube, that would be really helpful. And only 49, because this is a paid version, so only 49 people can join into this. So this is just a question answer session what we have done, so to make it interactive, so I can get to know if you understand it. This is the link. If someone from this team who can put this into the YouTube, that would be really helpful. If you want, I can do it, but I don't have that. If you can just paste this to the YouTube link, and yeah, and I will just check who all have joined it here. So I don't have any participant yet. Yep. Let them come up. I have 49 seats. I see in YouTube 52 of them are there. In this call, 16 of them are there. So if possible, yeah, people comes up. Yeah, 12 players are there. More 13. Yeah, 14 joined. Yes.
Yes,
I
yes.
need more. Yeah, more people. More people. Fast. We can do it in 5 minutes. Very quick,
Yes.
interactive.
Students have directly joined on YouTube, sir. So you can
Yeah,
directly take up the question from there.
yeah. No, it is just an interactive session. So it would see in their screen itself, so they need to check into their mobile right now. Nothing needs to be seen in the screen. From wherever they are logging in, they just need to check it. So I have 18 players right now. We have a slot of 49, so people can join over here. Teachers, you can also join, not an issue. It's just an interactive session, that's it. So we have 17 players, we have 49 slot. If not, then I will just start it. Okay, I'll just wait for a minute and then I'll start it. Okay, here it is starting. Okay, as you can see in my screen also. 19 pair joined. Great. So start. So answer quickly. You would get more points to it. And I will ask, what is a project? So your option is an ongoing routine activity, a temporary endeavor with specific goal, a random set task, a one-time task with no planning. So you have 10 seconds to answer it. Yeah, I'm starting. Great. So we have 6 correct answer, 8, 9 wrong answers. Okay. So basically, what is project? A project is a temporary project, as I mentioned, has a start date and end date, created to deliver unique result, product, service, or outcomes, basically. Okay. So we would see the leaderboard. So Arya is leading with 914 point. Kaiser is leading second, 862.766 point. So sir, whoever wins, you should give them a gift. Okay, from my side.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay. So next question. 20 players are there right now. So going to the next question. Answer quickly to get more points. I would mention again. So which of this is not a project? Constructing a bridge, developing an AI chatbot, launching a new website, daily customer service operations. Come on, you have 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 6 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And correct. Daily customer service operations, because operational activity is never a project. Constructing a building, construction of bridge is a project. Developing an AI chat is a project. Launching a new website is a project. My question was, what is not a project? So that's what is mentioned. Daily customer service is an operations, ongoing and repetitive, not a project. Now the leaderboard won't come. It would come later on. Don't worry. Okay. The third question is over here. Answer it quickly to get more points. We have 20 seconds for all question. In planning phase, which of this is most important? Remember, most important. Creating a detailed roadmap, scope, time, cost, risk, celebrating the success, deploying the final product, gathering the feedback. Think it is planning phase. What we do it in the planning phase. What we do planning phase. Here comes the answer. Great. 17 of them. Great. Creating the detailed roadmap, scope, time, and cost and risk. Very much important. So planning phase is very much important, and that's what you have mentioned. Going next, planning sets the roadmap to guide execution and prevent the failure. That's why. Next, fourth question. 19 players are ready. Going ahead. Answer it quickly. In the execution phase of an AI chatbot project, what is done? What is done? Get management approval, document lesson learned, define the objective, build and test a chatbot with real data. What is done? Remember the project which I gave in an execution phase, what was done? Correct. Correct. Build and test a chatbot with the real data. Correct. That is basically done, wherein we would be doing the execution phase. That is what mentioned. Execution is all about doing the work, building and testing and deliverables. So question fifth. Let's go fast. 21 player is there. Answer it quickly. Closure phase involves all except deliverable acceptance, training staff, starting a new unrelated project, document lesson learned. Starting a new unrelated project, training staff, deliverable accepted, document lesson learned. Think it is closure phase. Closure phase. Correct. 8 of them are correct. Starting a new unrelated project. Rest all we do in the closing phase. Closure phase is about finishing the process properly, handovering, accepting, learning, and not the new work. Okay, let's move fast. Question 6. We have 2 more questions. AI will take over the world. True or false? AI will take over the world. True or false? I tell AI will take over the world. All you will say true, right? What I told at the end of the slide, remember. AI will take over the world. Everyone has voted. AI is a tool created, controlled, and regulated by human. It does not have an intention of consequences. So AI would not take over the world. Basically, true and false it was. Oop. Now see who is first, who is second. Oh, Arya is still leading. Arjun came up. So Arya is full fastest. Arjun, okay, Arya is with 536 point. Let's see. Okay, so the winner of this is Arya. So sir, if you have that opportunity, you can definitely give Arya something.
Okay. Sure, sir, we will give.
No, I was just joking. No problem. So here I come up with question answer session. I know it's almost we are ahead with 2 minutes, but we started a bit late. If anyone has any question, let me know. I think if you want, you can let me know in chat, or if you want anything to be asked in YouTube. I'm also checking the YouTube comments. You can, I would answer that also in YouTube comment. Anything, anywhere, questions. If you don't have any questions, I think Rita ma'am would be sharing a link to you. Yep. And also one thing, finally, I wanted to thanks once again to everyone to giving me this opportunity, and special thanks to all these YouTube people who are watching this live section. 51 people. Thanks for taking your time listening to me. I know it was a very short session. It was a bit overview of like how project management lifecycle works upon. So if you see, this is my LinkedIn. You can always come to me and add me a network. I do accept everyone. So I do different types of stuff. If you see, I am a very active person in LinkedIn. Also, I also train different people from the project management stuff, which I do very like regularly. And one more thing, I also help students to get into their careers, and who wanted to build up their career, will let them know about it also. So if you have mobile, you can scan this QR. Otherwise, Rita ma'am would share another Google form wherein you can fill that form. If you want to have directly on one-on-one session with me, I do conduct that too. You can have that. You otherwise, if you have your mobile phone, you can just scan this QR and fill that Google form also. Yep. Yep. So that's it, ma'am, from my side. I think no one have had asked any questions. Sir, can I use AI agent to reduce? Yeah, definitely you can use AI. One of the question was, can I use AI agent to reduce my task? Definitely you can use the AI agent to reduce your task, but you need to be very smart. Don't just rely. Nowadays, everyone is smart. Everyone knows that you are using something from AI, right? For an example, if I give something and if you directly put the prompt into an AI like anything, and you get that answer and you paste it in front of me, and you tell me, sir, I have did it from my own research. See, you can always take that help, but don't make sure you directly copy and paste it. Make it into your word, understand what the AI is telling, and then portray it into your form. So this slide, what I have made, I might have made from AI itself, but I had put in my own effort, like how to make it, how to structure it, how to do it, how to take the cues at the end. This all was done from my side, not from the AI side. AI might had only given me a structure. So that's why you can always use an AI agent to reduce your task, but be very much smart and very much like attentive, or you need to present it yourself. Never the opposite person should know that you have taken it from AI and you are presenting it. It should be from, like, who asked this question? Yogesh Doran. Yogesh, it should be from you, the end user. Like, if you are presenting something to me, Sanju should realize that Yogesh have presented it. Let him take it from any AI guide or something. I don't care. But at the end, Yogesh presented it from his own experience and is from his own words. That is what very much important. Okay. Yep. Yep. That's it. I think that was the only question. Was there anything else from anyone? Once again, thank you, Rita ma'am, for giving this opportunity. Sagar sir, I think Dr. Divendu have like Dipendu, right? If I'm not wrong, he have left the call. So this was more into the project life cycle. I know people might be thinking about AI. Different sessions would be coming from tomorrow. Also, they would be getting hands-on practice with the AI tools and all that. So this would be just a starter for them. They can relate it, how they can, at what stage of project this would be done, where would be the build up is done, execution done, monitoring control. So this they can relate once the other session comes up.
Sure,
One more
sir.
question came. What do you think about this AI at this point? We as a students are fully dependent on AI for making project. We cannot create anything from scratch. How to come out of this AI dependency? Very good question. Universal reviewer. I don't know what's your name. See, it is not mandatory you need to do everything from AI. But what happens is like something, when you do from scratch, you need to put your 100% into that, and you need to be very much into that. So what so as I mentioned, there is an something session which I take, which is more an intensive 7 weeks of project management course, 4 weeks of project management course. In that we do live case study, and in that we don't deal with any kind of AIs and anything. We sit and we do everything by our own. Even writing a single word, we do it our way. Even the grammatical mistake is there, that's not a big problem. But we need to think. Like, what happens is our mind opens, we think, and then finally, if you think everything is correct, you can do everything, and then you can take a support of AI if you need it. There is no not compulsory necessity that AI should be taken and all that. But artificial intelligence is coming up. That is an advantage. Something which takes like day in and a day out, it would be done in 1 or 2 hours. So why to waste that? So what happens is, like, you can be more productivity. You can take that AI support and then you can do it rather than doing it from scratch. But it's a very good approach. Your mind gets opened up and you think a lot of things when you do from scratch. rather than an AI dependency. But to very specific with you, universal reviewer, whoever it is, it's very difficult nowadays to get out from the AI dependency because our mindset is that I will give you an like what you say a case like an homework. Think whatever you have searched 15 minutes back on your mobile phone, like it be anything. You might have thought today I will take a new shoe, or today I will take a new bag, a scooter, a bike, or car, something like that. Okay, I know one might be using social medias or anything. Go and see on Instagram and on Facebook, the third or the fourth ad would be the thing which you searched 15 minutes before. The ad would be of an shoe, the ad would be of an uh, what do you say, a car, the ad would be of an bike, whatever you have searched. Why? That's how AI is building up, because they know to prompt it, they know to, because this is basically data acquisitions which they are taking from yourself and prompting you that to take it. So this company have already built in their AIs, and the ads which you are getting, it is already into an AI field. So there would be AI for sure. In the real world project, AI used or not? Yeah, AI used in real world project. 100% AI is used in real world project. So basically, I was doing one of a very big project right now, which is an LLM, large language, because basically it is known as anonymization, hiding out the something which is more into critical stuff, which I cannot discuss in this call. But definitely AI is there in the real world project also. Developers are used Fastly Works for project. They are helped. Are they? Developers use AI, but not at that, because rather than AI, there is also lot of things. When you come into real world, you would see lot of things. There are n number of libraries there with the same things what you are doing in each on other companies. A lot of people do share their knowledge. I don't know how many of you all know about GitLab. Basically, a huge library is there in GitLab. There is no need of any kind of AIs and all that. What do you think when you prompt for a code in AI, from where it take? It takes from the data wherein this GitLab library is there, or different types of stuff is there. From there, it takes all this information and prompt you out. So it's just not the AI specific, but developers takes lot of help from here and there, because each day is a new issue, or each day is a new challenge, and each day even the developer and the management have to think in that way, not only the developer. So I have been working with lot of developers, because I am into a position wherein right now different projects are there, different developers are there. And see, it's not like your like a college project. It's a very different when you come into the life example. When you come into the industry, you get lot of time. Not so a project has, so there is a project which I have been doing since 4 years. Still that project is not end, because it has that like it is that critical project. So that's what I told. It is not something very, so project has a start date and end date, but does not mean ki it would be done in 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. It can be take. For an example, the construction of a building. If you see, if you want to buy a new building, the position is given 2028. So that is 3 years of project completion is there. So all this project life cycle would be followed to build this building. So it's not only in IT, everywhere this project management life cycle has been done. I hope I answered your question, Yogesh. Okay. Anything else? I don't see any question over here. If you have any question, you can ask to Rita ma'am. Rita ma'am, you can ask me. Okay, one more question came up when you came up in the slide. Sorry for Arjun Hete asked, can using AI tool effectively for specific task be considered as valuable professional till what it is? Because there is an can using AI tool effectively for specific task be considered as valuable professional kill in industry? No, nothing would be kill. Nothing would kill any professions. Nothing would kill. If you think you would be killed, you would be killed. If you think no, this is the right time to upskill myself and beat the person or beat the technology itself, you would be another level person. So tomorrow, if I think, oh no, everything is going into AI, do you think a project manager or product manager is really required? AI can do everything, right? Then the development would be done, everything. No, it does not happen that way. I should feel that I need to upskill myself, okay, understand the AI tool effectively, understand how to prompt them, understand what is the framework behind that, and then work accordingly rather than sitting and thinking that it would take my opportunity. It would never take your opportunity. It would give you more opportunity. In fact, what happens, I will let you know one of an example. In my day-to-day life, there was a junior developer in my team who was working, and what had happened is like everyone was thinking he's a junior, what he's doing, he is only obeying whatever the senior developer is giving him. What he was doing in the meantime, he was making himself from the back end, he was creating a structural flow wherein it was more optimization from the current solution. He upskilled himself and he showed that to the stakeholders and to the end users, everyone, that if you follow this rule you would get this benefit. He was recognized in that way. What he did, he upskilled himself. So always make sure that you upskill yourself. That is very much important. Is there a particular area of AI you would like to focus on? Uh, Not a particular area. Basically, focus on AI itself. It's a very vast topic because, as you know, different there is different level and all that. Just learn the basics, make the basics very much strong. How the data is being accessed, how the data exploration is done. So these all are the basic terms that you need to know. How solution modeling is done, evaluation is done, the deployment is done. So make sure the basic is very much strong of yours. So once you enter into the industry, you would definitely get a training wherein, for an example, you would be going into the industry, you would be directly not thrown into the street to swim. You would be always having a life jacket, which is called as the training. Then you would be slowly knowing how to swim and how to get into that situation. So I would mention, rather than learning the higher part, make sure your basics are very strong. If your basics is very strong, no one can beat you. You directly go, how you climb a stair, you climb a stair from ground level to a high level, correct? You don't directly go to the high level. So make sure your basics are very strong. Once your basics are very strong, no one can beat you. That is what very much point that you need to understand. Even if you don't know high coding, even if you don't know anything, but your basics are very strong. You know what is the basics, how the basics work, how is the basic fundamental work, what is the fundamental workflow, everything, you know the basics. Definitely you would be, I would say, a great person and you would have a great career in your life. So see, myself, I don't know everything. I don't know everything about technology. Tomorrow, if you ask me something about how React works or how something more into coding, I would not know that. But I know my basics. What is my basics? How I get to know into that. So I would ask the person, I know this, you let me know if I'm correct or not, or teach me. Have that kept. One more thing, never think you know everything. Got it? Never think you know everything. If you have that in yourself, that I know everything and no one can teach me now anything, then you're gone at that day. If you have that personality, I don't know anything, I can learn everything, whatever people are telling. Even today, my junior, like today, I would be learning from you all. You might be chatting something, or I might be learning. For an example, when we are starting, one of the person already wrote like already 15, 16 minutes have been wasted. It's a very good point of him because the live was not live. 16, 17 minutes is a very big time. Something learning for me, learning for us. We need to, at the next session, we would be making it more effective, that we would be doing the live session at the correct time, whatever is mentioned. So that is a learning for me. I should not think, Array, हाउ कैन ही टेल? सॉरी फॉर द हिंदी वर्ड, मैं बोलूंगा अरे उसने कैसा बोल दिया, 15 मिनट लेट हो गया, वो मैं नहीं बोलूंगा। मैं बोलूंगा हाँ ही वॉज करेक्ट, आई शुड लर्न, आई शुड टेक दैट फीडबैक, वी वर लेट 15 minutes, at the next session we would make sure we would be not at 8 o'clock, not 8 o'clock, 7:55 we would be ready with everything, and we will start with 8 o'clock. Got it? The next question was from artificial. Thank you, Sanju sir. When such an engaging and interesting session, we all thank you, artificial intelligence. If you can let me know your name, I will also let your name, because your name is not artificial intelligence. Vedan, how do you stay updated with such a rapid changing field? Uh, Definitely, you need to read. You need to be very much active. You need to network with the people. That is very much important. So let me just share you my screen. I know it is very much less, but still I am networking myself. So do you see my LinkedIn profile? I don't know if you are seeing it or not. On the YouTube, it would be coming right now. So if you see, I have 2686 followers, more than 5000. Like, it is not showing the connection exactly. You see, daily 96 people are viewing my profile, the post impression, and all that. So I am networking myself to get to know more things in the industry, what is going on, what is not going on. So I be updated with this. And LinkedIn is a good platform for a career person, not just to create network, but to create lot of things, to understand the stuff, how we can work onto it, what all things we can do. It's in related to business, whatever thing it is. LinkedIn is a best platform, and definitely I do have different types of subscriptions, which is free subscriptions. For an example, you see newsletter. A lot of people does not follow newsletters. They think, "Arey, क्यों subscribe करने का? It is just waste of time." No, it is not a waste of time. It is always a perfect thing. A lot of things you get to know from newspapers and all that, newsletters and all that, subscriptions and all that. So that is an advantage for everyone. So that's how I stay updated. Yeah, definitely. Something I might have not been also updated. People try to explain, like in day to day life itself. People tell. I have lot of stories that I can share with you. All this, like I do have good connections with Rapido CEO. If you know Rapido, one of the application Rapido, then I do have good connections with gaming profile CEOs and all that. So I do keep live sessions also. If you are interested, you can definitely come to my LinkedIn and ask for the connection. I will definitely accept it, and I would be posting out there in that. Quickly, I will take. Are there any live sessions scheduled for tomorrow? Yes, okay, so that is something for the college. Any else questions, Rita ma'am, Saga sir? If you want to, I think most of these people have answered. I have answered the question.
Yeah, so most of the questions are addressed now.
Yep. And definitely let me know if you need anything else from my side. I would be definitely there for your support. So even to very specific, thanks for this invite. As you know, like I am from Millennium India Private Limited. So I wanted to also invite my HR, but they could not join this. So we have that potential also. We do give courses or internships for the students. If they are really looking forward to it, we can definitely help them also in that perspective. That's not a big deal. Okay.
Great.
Yep. Thank you all. Thanks all for the participation. Have a wonderful night and hope so you have a wonderful session going forward all this week. Thanks a lot once again to giving this opportunity. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.